YouTube, what's going on, fam, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over what I believe are the top 5 loadouts in Season 4 Warzone right now. We're going to be going from 5 to 1. I'm going to go through all the attachments with you guys, all the tune-ins, and I'm going to give a little snippet about why I believe these are the best guns or best loadouts to use on Warzone right now. But before we get into the loadouts, if you guys could like the video, hit the subscribe button, and be sure to share and tell a friend, I would truly appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So starting off with number 5, we've got the MCPR and the Honey Badger, or the Chimera, whatever way you guys want to pronounce it. This is my number 5 on this list. So we're going to start off with the MCPR, the sniper. So this is the best sniper for me personally in this game, hands down. The intervention is very good, but the MCPR is just the king right now. These are all the attachments. So with the muzzle, we've got the nil sound 90, we've got the 22 OMX for the barrel, we've got the Ollie V laser, we've got the Forge Tac Delta 4 because it gives you that quick ADS and it doesn't show that glint as well. And then we've got the explosive rounds for the one shot possibility with the sniper. Going over the tunings quickly. So on the muzzle, we got all the way down the left side, and then 0.60 it should be towards the bullet velocity on the bottom. For the barrel, we got all the way down the left side, and then all the way to the left on the bottom. For the Ollie V laser, we got all the way down the left side and all the way to the left on the bottom. For the optic, I just do it for, I keep it neutral, but I just like it for the ADS speed, so I go all the way down the left side and keep it neutral on the bottom bar. And then for the explosive rounds, I go all the way up on the left and all the way to the right for the bullet velocity. Okay, so moving on to the Honey Badger or the Chimera, whatever you guys want to call it. I set this up between like a sniper support and close range, just get the best of both worlds. And that's why I got the stock and the rear grip for the ADS speed and the mobility, and then I've got the underbarrel and the optic for that sort of recoil control from the underbarrel, and the optic just to give me that clearer vision for any sort of enemies in more of the distance. So starting with the attachment, starting with the optic, we've got the Chrono Mini Pro for the optic, we've got the Ravage 10 stock. For the rear grip, we've got the Bruin flash grip. For the underbarrel, we've got the FFS Shark Fin 90, and then we've got the 45 round mag for the magazine. Going over the tuning now for the optic, it's all the way down the left side and then keeping it neutral for the bottom. For the stock, we got all the way down the left side, and it should be 2.00 positive on the bottom bar. For the rear grip, we got all the way down the left side and then all the way to the left on the bottom. And then for the underbarrel, we got all the way down the left side again, and then 0.30 positive for the aiming ideal stability. I know a lot of people will have mixed opinions on what to use for a sniper support, but for me, I feel like you get the best of both worlds with the Honey Badger. You get that recoil control that you can set up, you get more of that distance, but also with the setup I got on this, you get that mobility, you get that ADS speed, and the TTK on this Honey Badger is actually insane. Like, trust me, it is so underrated, this TTK, because it's under the assault rifle category. People do not talk about the TTK from close range on the Honey Badger, so 100% the best sniper support for me on the game. Moving on to number 4 now on the list, we have the good old reliable, the M4. Honestly, old reliable, the M4. This is absolutely slapping right now, very underrated right now. It's just one of those guns that just never lets you down, the M4. Like, honestly, never lets you down, never has done in Call of Duty, and it's so iconic in Call of Duty. So I'm glad it's very viable right now and definitely meta right now. So with the attachments, we're going to start with the muzzle. We've got the Harbinger D20, then we've got the High Tower 20-inch for the barrel, then we've got the AIM OP V4 on the optic. You can switch between that and the SZ Recharge if you want to. It's all just personal preference. Both are very good options, but for me right now, I'm running the AIM OP V4. For the underbarrel, we've got the FTAC Ripper 56, and then for the magazine, we got the 60 round mag. Going into the tunings, we got the it should be 1.10 positive all the way up on the left side, and then all the way to the right on the bottom. For the barrel, it should be 0.20 positive for the recoil steadiness, and then 0.3 positive for the damage range on the bottom. For the optic, it's the same on all my optics on all these guns that I'm using, guys. I literally just go all the way down the left side and keep it neutral on my optic on the bottom. For the FTAC Ripper, it should be 0.25 positive for the recoil stabilization, and then 0.35 positive for the aiming ideal stability, and then obviously no tuning on the 60 round magazine. Honestly, Everyone loves the M4. It's such an iconic gun, and it's definitely top tier, definitely meta right now. So we're going to be pairing this M4 up with the Vaznev, and I feel like the Vaznev has been good ever since MW2 dropped, to be honest with you. I honestly do not think there's not been a time when the Vaznev hasn't been meta, and it still continues to be meta right now. So the build I go for might be a bit slightly different to what other people use, but I personally think this is the best build for this Vaznev right now. You literally get everything from it. You can literally use this build for a sniper sport if you want to run it with a sniper as well, or it's very good for your close range as well, and you're getting an insane TTK from it. So I'm going to start with the muzzle for the attachment. We've got the Bruin Pendulum. Then for the barrel, we've got the Kaz 1 254mm. For the stock, we've got the Ott Rezat stock. For the rear grip, we've got the True Tac grip, and then the 45 round mag for the magazine. Going into the tuning, we got all the way down the left side for that aim down sight speed, and then all the way to the right for the recoil control. On the barrel, we got the, it should be 0.30 for the recoil steadiness, and then all the way to the left for the aim down sight speed on the bottom. For the stock, we got all the way down the left side for the aim down sight speed, and then it should be 2.0 positive for the aiming ideal stability on the bottom, if I can get there. And then for the rear grip, it goes all the way down the left side, and then all the way to the left on the bottom bar, and then obviously no tuning for the magazine. Honestly, the Vaznev is still very good right now. Like I said, it's never not been good, if I'm being truly honest with you. You can, like I said, you can pair this up with a sniper support. You can use it from close range. It's a very good option right now, and a perfect complementary option for the M4. So moving on to number 3 on the list now, and guys, I'm calling this the toxic loadout. It's one of them loadouts that I don't want to share with you guys because it is so toxic, and honestly it makes me rage in game when people kill me with these two guns. But I've got to be honest with you guys, I've got to keep it real with you guys and share with you what the best loadouts are right now. So this is the toxic loadout on Warzone right now. So we're going to start with the SO14 for the primary. If you guys remember the DMR, this is essentially the DMR right now. It's not as broken as what it was, thank God, but it's near enough to what the DMR was. So we're going to start with the muzzle. We've got the Sacking Tread 40, and then for the barrel, we've got the 22 Ballmaster barrel. For the optic, we've got the Aim OP V4, sorry. You can use the ESZ Recharge for this one as well, or the Schlager 3.4. It's literally complete preference for what you guys want to run. I'm using the Aim OP right now, and I'm really enjoying it. The underbarrel, we've got the FTAC Reaper 56, and then we've got the 50 round drum for the magazine. Going over the tuning, so we've got all the way up on the left side for the recoil stabilization, and then all the way to the right for the recoil control on the muzzle. For the barrel, we got 0.4 positive recoil steadiness on the left side, and then 0.25 for the damage range on the bottom. Same with the optic again, guys, it's all the way down the left side, as I mentioned on all the other loadouts. For the FTAC Ripper, we got 0.7 positive for the recoil stabilization, and then this should be 0.30 for the aiming ideal stability, and then obviously no tuning for the 50 round magazine. Now moving on to the second part of this toxic loadout. Honestly guys, this is the gun that puts fear in everyone's eyes in close quarters. As soon as they hear the fire rounds going in this shotgun, people are running the other way. People are legit scared of this loadout because it is so broken, it is so toxic, and the only reason I don't really talk about it, guys, is because I refuse to promote shotguns, because they are so stupidly broken when they're overpowered like this right now, because for some reason they decided to buff the fire rounds, the Dragon Breath rounds in Season 4. Don't ask me why they decided to do that, but they did. So we're going to keep it short and sweet with this one because it's a shotgun and I don't promote shotguns, but I've got to keep it real with you guys. I've got to keep it honest. So for the muzzle, for the attachment for the muzzle, we've got the ASA Schwingen DX for the muzzle. We've got the Gunner D20 for the barrel. For the bolt, we've got the Dash Bolt 60. For the ammunition, we've got the 12 gauge Dragon Breath rounds, and then we've got this 12 shell mag for the magazine. For the tuning, we've got all the way down the left side for the muzzle, and then it should be 0.75 for the bullet velocity on the muzzle. For the barrel, we got all the way up on the left side of the recoil steadiness, and then all the way to the left, that aim down sight speed. And then the tuning for the Dragon Breath rounds, we got all the way up on the left side, 0.7, and then it should be 3.55 positive for the bullet velocity on the ammunition. Honestly guys, like I said, this is the toxic loadout on Warzone right now. So if someone's getting on your nerves in the game, or if you just woke up and decided to choose violence today and wanted to wake up and be toxic, this is the toxic loadout that you guys got to use on Warzone right now. Please don't do it though to me, because I will rage hard. Okay, so moving on to the second best loadout in Warzone right now this season. Coming in for the primary, we've got the HCR 56, the best LMG in my opinion right now on Warzone. Honestly, with the increase in the health going from 100 to 150, LMGs have become a much more meta and viable now in Warzone, and a lot more sort of recognised in the rotation. And the reason I've gone with the HCR 56 is because it has a great TTK. The mobility for it is actually quite decent. It's an LMG, but it doesn't feel like an LMG, and the reload time's not that slow, slow either. So honestly, it hits very hard. It doesn't feel like an LMG. It's got a decent mobility, decent feel to it, and overall just a very well, just a meta option right now in Warzone. If you guys aren't feeling any of the assault rifles right now, definitely give this LMG a go. So we're going to start with the muzzle again. Once again, we've got the Harbinger D20. For the barrel, we've got the FTAC Hornet. For the optic, once again, it's the MOP OP4. Can use the SZ recharge if you want to, completely up to you guys. For the underbarrel, we've got the FTAC Ripper 56, and then for the ammunition, we've got the 5.56 high velocity rounds. For the tuning, we got 0.9 positive for the recoil steadiness on the left side, and we've got 0.55 positive for the bullet velocity on the bottom. For the barrel, we got 0.4 positive for the recoil steadiness on the left side, and then on the bottom, we got positive 0.3 for the damage range. For the optic, as you guys know, -3 down the left side neutral. For the underbarrel, we got 0.55 positive, it should be if I can get there, and for the recoil stabilization, and then 0.3 positive for the aiming ideal stability. And then for the ammunition, it should be 0.4 positive for the damage range, and it should be 4.05. It should be 4.05 positive for the bullet velocity anyway. And yeah, that is it. But honestly, if you guys want something that hits a bit harder, has a high mag, high damage to mag right now in this game, give this HCR a go. It is honestly unbelievable right now. So the second part of this loadout, we got the MP5. I will refuse to call this the Lockman sub, because it's not the Lockman sub, it is the MP5, and everyone that calls it the MP5 are goats. If you don't call it the MP5, honestly, you're a wrong one. I'm sorry, I've said it. I've said what I said, you are. Sorry, I'm sorry if I offended you guys, but this thing's the MP5. It is not the Lockman sub, okay? It is not. So, anyway, enough of my rant. Let's get back into the loadout. So, for the muzzle, we got the Bruin Pendulum. For the barrel, we got the Falcon barrel. For the laser, we got the 1MW quickfire laser. For the stock, we got the Mir Recoil 56 factory stock. And then we got the 50-round drum for the magazine. Going on to the tuning options now, so all the way down the left side for the ADS speed, and then all the way to the right on the bottom for the recoil control. For the barrel, we got 0.4 positive for the recoil steadiness, and then all the way to the left for the ADS speed on the bottom. For the laser, we got all the way down on the left side for the sprint to fire speed, and then all the way to the left for the aim down sight speed on the bottom. For the stock, we got all the way down the left side for the ADS speed, and then it should be 2.00 positive for the aiming ideal stability, and then obviously no tuning for the 50-round drum. Honestly, this MP5 is still very good, guys. Like, literally top tier for your close range guns right now. I absolutely love it. It's such an iconic gun. The MP5 has always been one of my favourite SMGs in Call of Duty history, literally. It's so fun to use, it's so good to use, and there's so many ways you can build this as well. If you're running it on Resurgence, you can take the stock, you can change it and put the stockless stock on to give it that bit more movement speed. It is just such a good secondary gun to use right now, and honestly still top tier. Now moving on to what is the #1 loadout, what I personally think is the #1 loadout in Season 4 Warzone right now. I'm pretty sure most of you guys can guess it since everyone is using it right now, but it is the Lockman 556 and the ISO 45. So we're going to start with the Lockman 556 for the primary. Honestly, this thing is like the Grau 2.0. It literally has no recoil. Thing just literally doesn't move at all. The TTK takes a little bit longer than what other guns, but this gun is just so easy to use. It's so consistent with its shots as well. And even though the TTK statistically is longer than some other guns to use, when in game it just doesn't feel that long. Like, it feels like it hits harder than what the stats back it up to say. So for me, the Lockman 556 is the 100% the best assault assault rifle hands down right now, and for me it's the #1 long range option in Warzone right now. So I'm going to go over the attachments, starting with the muzzle with the Harbinger D20. Then for the barrel we got the Lockman wrap barrel. The optic, once again guys, personal choice, AMO PV4 I personally use, or you can use the SZ recharge optic as well. FTAC Ripper 56 for the underbarrel, and then the 60 round mag. Going into the tunings, it should be 1.10 if we can get there, for the recoil smoothness, and then all the way to the right for the bullet velocity on the bottom. For the barrel we got 0.4 positive for the recoil steadiness, and then it should be 0.20 for the damage range on the bottom. For the optics, same again, all the way down on the left side, neutral. For the underbarrel FTAC Ripper, it should be 0.60 for the recoil stabilization, and then 0.3 for the aiming ideal stability on the bottom, and then obviously no tuning on the magazine. Now going into what is the #1 SMG and the #1 close range option in Warzone right now, it dropped this season, is the ISO 45. Now you guys might remember the ISO from MW 2019 in the OG Warzone, and it absolutely sucked. Like, it literally was so bad on the OG Warzone at MW 2019. It literally never got used. Well, they released again this year, and it's absolutely disgusting right now. This thing, it's just ridiculous. It's got everything you want in an SMG right now. It's got an unbelievable TTK. It is so quick to use. The movement speed's unbelievable with it. The mobility is just literally the perfect SMG right now. The only thing you can criticize with this SMG, which is just all personal preference at the end of the day, is the iron sight isn't the best. So you might see some people, maybe, I don't know, they might take the laser off and put an optic on to get a cleaner iron sight with it. For me, it doesn't bother me that much, hence why I've gone for this build. But if you guys don't like the iron sight, the only change I would make is to take off the laser, because he's got such a quick ADS speed already, and then put on an optic instead. So going over all the attachments on this, we're going to start with the muzzle. Bruin pendulum once again for the muzzle, the 1MW quickfire laser, the SK3 cheetah. Yes, if you're using this stock, you're a cheater apparently. On the stock. For the rear grip, we've got the EXP for the EXP shear for the rear grip, sorry, and then the 45 round drum. Going over the tuning options, it's all the way down the left side for the ADS speed, and then all the way to the right for the recoil control. And for the laser, once again, it's all the way down the left side and all the way to the left on the bottom. For the stock, it's all the way down the left side, and then 2.00 once again for the aiming ideal stability. For the rear grip, once again, it's all the way down the left side, and then all the way to the left on the bottom to get that sprint to fire speed. And obviously, once again, no tuning for the 45 round drum. So guys, those are my top 5 loadouts in Season 4 Warzone right now. Like I said, I wanted to keep this short and sweet.
Stop the cap!
So I didn't want to bore you guys too much for going into too much detail, but apologies for anyone that wanted me to go into a little bit more details. I apologize guys, but that's just literally all I wanted to go over. It's just my top 5 loadouts, the attachments, and all the tuning that I would recommend and I would use for it. And yeah, that's why I wanted to sort of just go into the video and give you guys the heads up of what you should be using right now. And I know I've already asked for you already, but if you guys could drop a like on this video, hit subscribe button, and be sure to share and tell a friend, I would truly appreciate it. We are so close to 2k subs on the channel now, and be sure to come and drop my Twitch a follow as well. I'll leave a link down below in the description, so you guys could just click the link, drop a follow on my Twitch. We stream 3 to 4 days a week over on there. We've got a great community over there, and you'll get to see me do all my testing and use all my class setups over on my Twitch. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a great day. Peace.